Hello, welcome to another Tarot News at 8. I think I'll do a reading on Camilla. She's in the news because apparently she told a friend that Markle had brainwashed Harry. So I thought, yeah, let's do a reading on her. Disclaimer, obviously, I'm hypothesising with the cards. Don't take it literally. I've asked for love and light. Some of the questions, you know, what sort of person is Camilla? Is she comfortable with her role as queen? Does she love Charles? We'll look at the brainwashing. What's the relationship with the boys? What was the relationship with the late queen? And we'll look at, you know, what's the future for Camilla. So let's give it a whirl and see what we've got. So first card, what sort of person is Camilla? Oh, she's a mentor. Let's just zoom in so you can see that. Yeah, so she's a mentor. So she's someone that people can turn to for advice. She gives good advice apparently, so she often, because she's very honest apparently and a great advisor, so people go to her for her wisdom. She's very balanced, and she's very hardworking and full of ambition as well. So I think the late queen would have recognized something good there in her, that she's hardworking. So yeah, someone who people go to for advice because she's very, very honest. So that's not a bad card at all. You know, she's very, very honest and she's very secure in existing relationship. So that's the sort of person she is. People go to her and say, can you help? And she will help. She's always going to give you good advice. So is she comfortable in her role as queen? Yes. And weirdly, so it's given her recognition. So I think, you know, obviously she started life as the other woman, and I think being queen she sees as a great achievement, because it's changed the narrative, hasn't it? It's the card of unity. I think people are more behind Camilla now than what they used to be, because they see her role as the queen. It's her moment to shine as well, this card. So yeah, and it's a card of taking a bow and, you know, accepting applause that you've done well in your job. So what I would say is that, yeah, it's her moment to shine as queen. She gets recognition she deserves. It's like a second chance. And I think that people are more unified behind her now, you know, compared to when she started out as the other woman. And it's the card of hard work again. So what I'm getting is she's a grafter, Camilla, and the queen would have loved that because the queen was a grafter. So what about Charles? Does she love Charles? Well, she definitely sees justice that they're together. So that's the first thing I'd say, that, you know, she always thought that they would be together. In the end, she sees it as justice. And obviously there was a load of legal issues around it. This is the card of legal issues and pros and cons. And there would have been, because there had to be divorces, etc. But she sees it as justice that she is with him, that it's karma that she's with him. And it is the fair and honest message in this card. So I get the real feeling that she's a fair woman, Camilla, very honest. And it's saying she sees it as justice that she's with Charles. Now, love-wise, I'm not getting love in particular from this card, but what I am getting is that she got the outcome that she felt was deserved. So she felt she deserved to be with Charles, and she is with Charles. So maybe there'll be a bit more as I go along regarding that, but I'm not really getting love from it. But what I'm getting is that she feels justified that she is with Charles. So, and I suppose in a way that is saying that's love. You know, she felt like she should be with him, and she is with him. So did she tell her friend that Markle brainwashed Harry? I mean, I think that's really interesting, isn't it? She's very astute, she comes across as. So if that is her opinion, then that is her opinion. That is correct, probably. But this is a card of the messenger. So yeah, look, this is a message, isn't it? I'd say she did. It's a card of messages. It's a card of being playful as well. So and it is the card of it is a card of messages and being playful and a bit flirtatious as well. But what I would say is, if I'm asking the cards, you know, did she tell a friend that Meghan had brainwashed Harry. Well, yes, because this is a card of messages. So she definitely said to a friend, I don't like this. You know, she's brainwashed Harry. So, yeah, I'd say that is definitely true. What about her relationship with Harry? What's it like? Well, look, it's boundaries, isn't it? Probably set by him, I'd imagine, more than her. I think she's quite open to a relationship with Harry. I always find when I talk about these, the swords come into it, don't they? The minute you start talking about them, all of a sudden we got the conflict coming in. So the relationship with Harry, I would say, is there's boundaries there. There has to be boundaries set. And I'd say they're not as bad as what they used to be, because this is a calm after the storm. So I'd say that over the years they've built up a better relationship than what they had. But if she's saying stuff like that, that Meghan's brainwashed Harry, it makes me think that she sees Harry as a victim. So I wouldn't say that she has a negative relationship with him. I'd say she exercises caution with him. She doesn't know how to behave with Harry. He's quite a hard egg to understand. So I'd say she has boundaries there, because she's never sure what kind of Harry she'll get. But I don't think she sees him as a I don't think she sees him as a demon. I think she sees him as a victim, because the mere fact she said to a friend that Markle's brainwashed him, well, that makes me, I think she sees him as a victim. So she has to set these boundaries in place, because she doesn't really know how to deal with Harry. So she tries to, it's like calm, you know, slowly, you know, you'll win. But yeah, she doesn't know how to deal with him, I think. What about her relationship with William? Well, this is a very interesting card, isn't it? It's the Wheel of Fortune. So I'd say that with William, I mean, she does come across very astute. That is what I'll say about Camilla. She comes across as astute to me, and I think with William, she's thinking, you know, what do I do? She sees it as fate that they've crossed paths, that's for certain, because this is the card of fate, destiny, and progress. And I think she just trusts in that. She trusts in the process with William. She thinks, well, this is a card of the universe being on your side, like the right side, and anything's possible. So with the relationship with William, I think she looks and just thinks, I'll leave it to fate. Anything is possible, you know, and that we could reach a sort of an understanding with each other. You know, that's what I would say about that. So it isn't a bad card. It's just saying it's all down to fate, you know. But it's a lucky card. It's nothing bad about it at all. But it's saying that she does, she's left it to fate with William. She's like, I think he's very sensitive, William, and she's like, he'll come round. And I think that's the sort of direction she's taken with William. So what about did Camilla have a good relationship with the Queen? I'm interested in that. So, oh look, it's the Mother card and nurture. So yeah, I would say the Queen liked her, and I think it goes back to that she was hardworking. You know, Camilla comes across as someone who's very, very hardworking. That's the impression I get from her. So I would say that the Queen did have a lot of time for Camilla. You know, it almost saw as Camilla sort of looked up to her almost like a mother figure. So, and yeah, they had a good relationship. It's a card of nurturing. So it's not bad at all. It's a card of love. So I said they had a very good relationship with each other. And I'd say almost to a point where she could call her mum if she wanted to. She did see her as a mother figure, and the Queen was very nurturing towards her. And I think it's because she could see that Camilla's hardworking. You know, something about Camilla that comes across as hardworking. So I'd say they had a good relationship, her and the Queen. And then what about the future for Camilla? So we've got structure here, haven't we? And it's swords. So, I mean, it's the card. Whenever you see swords, you always think conflict, you know. So it's the last swords card. But it's the card of knowledge, honesty. I mean, she's very honest, I think, Camilla. Probably to a fault, maybe. But so she's going to require a lot of honesty to get through the next couple of months. She's a force to be reckoned with. So, you know, and she can appear ruthless and cold. This is a card of appearing ruthless and cold, but that's only if people upset her, she comes across as that. So I think sometimes she can be misunderstood, Camilla. So I would say that her honesty and direction can be misunderstood. But this is normally, you predict like it's a new love interest or new work placements. It does make me a bit worried, because it's card of conflict, perhaps a new work structure, which, you know, makes me very nervous, because obviously if anything happened to Charles, it would affect her position. So it's just saying she's going to have to actually have stubbornness within her, you know, and really stamp her foot, quite basically. Saying she has to be honest, be stubborn to survive. There's going to be a bit of conflict coming up. And also, I mean, I don't really like it, because it is a card of a doctor as well. So I'd say, you know, she's got a busy couple of months coming up. I hope that Charles is okay, but what it's saying is she might have a bit of conflict, and she's got to be stubborn, really sort of not allow other people to walk over her, which I don't think she would anyway. But yeah, it's not a overly positive card to end on, actually. So it's just saying that there could be a change in her structure, and I don't like that. But anyway, I didn't want to ask a lot about Charles, because don't really want to hear anything that's not good. But it's sort of saying she's going to need to really sort of stand her ground, and that there could be a change of structure for her. So, and obviously where there's swords, there's conflict. But I think we'll leave that there. So, you know, we're sort of getting the impression when we go back to the beginning of the reading. So, you know, we've got someone who's a mentor, and she started, actually, she must be quite masculine, because look, we started with a king and we're ending with a king. So I think she's got a lot of masculine energy. She can look after herself. She loves the role of queen. She loves Charles. She's very grateful to him. She definitely told the friend about the brainwashing. And then the boys' relationships, I think with William, she's left it to fate. You know, she doesn't really know what to do with William. She's just letting the gods take over. And I don't get a negative feeling from her relationship with William. I just think she's leaving it to fate, quite basically. And then with Harry, there's the boundaries, you can see the Six of Swords. So I think with Harry it's a lot more complicated than with William. And then with the Queen, she had a good relationship, to the point that I feel like she could call her mum. They had a very good relationship. And then in the future, unfortunately, there seems to be a change of structure here, and she's got to really batten down the hatches and fight for her survival. But I know she's the sort of woman that can do that. So, okay, we'll leave that there for now. Interesting reading, and take care. Okay, bye.